Welcome student, welcome to Reddy's coaching classes, and today we are going to study chapter number 3, physiography and drainage, geography standard 10 or SSC. Okay, now physiography and drainage only I already told you in the first chapter, means first lesson of first chapter when I taught it that only two countries are, means in the whole book only two countries are, there is a comparison between only two countries, that one is, first one is India and second one is or Brazil. Okay, so Brazil is located here, you can see here in South American continent, that we learned in chapter number 2, location and extent. The location of Brazil is here in South American continent, and this is known as Brazil. This is the map of Brazil, you can see here, not clearly but at least you can understand it. And India is located over here in the world map. You can see India is located in the little bit in Asia it is in southern side or southern hemisphere. Okay, but yet some part of it is in northern hemisphere and eastern hemisphere. So we have studied in location and extent. This is Brazil and this is India. There is a comparison of only two countries in the whole what you call that book of geography. Okay, so here you can see about India. This is the political map, and you can also regard it as a physical to some extent. And we learned about the physiography and drainage of various rivers, drainage of various rivers in India as well as in Brazil. But we have never learned about the Brazil. We learned about what? India only, physiography as well as drainage. Now turn to chapter number 3 and page number 17 of your textbook. Go to page number 17 of your textbook, PDF file, whatever you have, physical or PDF file, I don't know. So now Brazil, even a cursory look at the map will make you realize that a large part of Brazil is occupied by highland. Now you can see here, this is the Guyana highland here. Now actually physical map is not available, so we are showing it in political map. You can see here the Guyana highland actually occupies this territory of Brazil, and it starts from Guyana. Guyana is a country. Guyana is a country to the north of Brazil, and this Guyana highland occupies this position, occupies this territory of Brazil. Now, and another one is nothing but the Brazilian highland from here. Brazilian highland from here. It is not also shown over there, but you can understand it. Then you know Casino Beach, Great Escarpment area. Yes, so many things. Okay, now we will learn about it. Large part of Brazil occupy highland, Guyana highland as well as what you call that Brazilian highland. There are two mountainous areas or plateau areas in Brazil. There is nothing but the Guyana highland and what you call that Brazilian highland. Now plateaus and small mountain, there are various small mountains, but these two highlands are very important from the point of view of geography or from the point of view of physiography. First one is Guyana highland and second one is Brazilian highland. Brazilian highland is located near to the southeast. It is located to the southeast, while Guyana highland is located in the north of Brazil. It occupies the northern territory of Brazil. Okay, now there are no very high and long extending mountains in the country. Now we have Himalaya. Himalaya, I already told you in location and extent chapter number 2 that Himalaya starts from the Jammu and Kashmir, Srinagar, that area till Assam Himalaya. Means you can see Himalaya is occupying the large portion of northern India as well as northeast India. Means it also covers some part of Seven Sisters. Seven Sisters means what you call 7 states, northeastern states. Okay. So there are no very high and long extending mountains in the country except for the northern Amazon basin. Amazon basin is located, you can see here Amazonas. This is the Amazon basin, you can see here, means I am showing here. So this is nothing but the Amazon basin, and in the southwest along the upper parts of Paraguay basin, there are no wide plains in the country, and Paraguay basin lies here. Okay, now even the coastal plains are restricted and expands. Now Brazil has a coastline of 7,400 km, while India has a coastline of 7,500 km. Means even though Brazil is bigger than India in comparison to territory of physiography, okay, longitudinal, latitudinal extent, yet its coastal line is very less. India is covered from 3 sides by coastal line. One is what you call that Arabian Sea. Second one is Bay of Bengal, and below Indian Ocean. But Brazil is only covered from this what you call that this North Atlantic Ocean and South Atlantic Ocean, and this east part, it is also, you may call it for the sake of convenience, East Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so there are no very high mountain or long extending mountains in the country like Himalaya, or we have what you call mountain Kanchenjunga and several other mountains also. Now, except for the northern Amazon basin and in southwest along the upper parts of Paraguay basin, there are no wide plains in the country. There are no wide plains. We have a wide plains. You can see the wide plains start in India from state of Rajasthan. It covers then Haryana, Punjab, as well as UP, Bihar till Assam. We have the wider plains. So, but such kind of a thing is not available in Brazil. Such kind of a thing cannot be seen in Brazil. Now, even the coastal plains are restricted. Coastal plains also restricted expand due to escarpment, great escarpment, as well as what you call that Brazilian highland. Now, the physiographic division of Brazil is as follow. First one is highland, second one is the great escarpment, third one is the coastal region, and fourth one the plains, and last one the island groups. Now, first one we will start with highland. The southern Brazil is occupied by extensive plateau. Now you can see here east, west, north and south. South is where you can see the great escarpment as well as Brazilian highland. It is differently described as Brazilian highland. This is known as Brazilian highland area because Brazilian highland occupies this territory or this part of the Brazil, as well as you can see here the great escarpment occupying the coastal area, some part of the coastal area of Brazil. So, except for the, now Brazilian shield. It is known also Brazilian highland is also known as Brazilian plateau, Brazilian shield, as you name it. Now, Brazilian and Guyana highland, I already told you Brazilian highland appears here, while Guyana highland appears here. It occupies the territory of this northern side of the Brazil. Now, Brazilian and Guyana highland together form the core of South American continent. In South American continent, this is the most important mountainous area or plateau area or highland area, whatever you may call it. Especially first one is what you call the Brazilian highland, and second one is known as Guyana highland. These are very two important mountainous region, especially in South American continent, and especially in Brazil. Okay. Now, the main part of the Guyana highland is in Venezuela. Now, you can see Venezuela little bit. Sir, Venezuela. You can see here country Venezuela. Actually, this Guyana highland, it starts not just from Guyana but from Venezuela. It comes from Venezuela. Venezuela is not a part of Brazil. It's another country, different country bordering the Brazil. Okay, it comes to Roraima, then it comes to Para and Amapá. Means Guyana highland occupy the three states of Brazil. First one is Roraima. When it comes from what you call that Venezuela, it goes through what you call the Roraima, then Para, and then it close to Amapá. Then three states are occupied, or part of the three states occupied by Guyana highland. It comes from Venezuela, as well as occupies some part of Guyana. Guyana is another what you call a nation, okay, bordering the Brazil. So you can see that. Now Para, yes, you can read that also, and it extends up to the French Guiana, and it extends up to the French Guiana. Means what you call the Guyana highlands comes from Venezuela. It appears from Venezuela. It goes to the Roraima, then Para, then Amapá, and then it ends in French Guiana. So this is the way Guyana highland occupies the most part of the Brazil, as well as other countries also. Means Venezuela is also, then Guyana also, and French Guiana, especially mostly the French Guiana where it ends. So Brazil and Guyana highlands together form the core of South American continent. In Brazil it covers the states of Roraima, Para and Amapá. Now in the north, these are the northern states of Brazil. So their Guyana highland is covering this area. Now, but the highest peak of Brazil, Pico de Neblina, is 3014 meter high, lies in the border between Brazil and Venezuela. Actually, I can show you here that Pico de Neblina lies on the border here. Yes, you can see the exact location. I am putting it with the marker. Actually, this is a political map, not physical map. So I'm just drawing on it. You can see that Pico de Neblina. This is known as Pico de Neblina. The highest peak in Brazil. It is the highest peak in Brazil, but it lies on the border of Venezuela and Brazil. It is not. It is bordering the two countries. Which one? First one is Brazil and another one is Venezuela. It lies on the border of Venezuela and Brazil. This is also the part of Guyana Highland. Remember, Pico de Neblina is not very different. It is a part of Guyana Highland, but it is the highest mountain range, or it is the highest peak. 3014. Yes, 3014 is nothing compared to Himalayan mountain. Our mountain ranges, Kanchenjunga is above 8000, and Everest, you know, it is the highest mountain in the world. That is also the part of Himalaya. Even though it is not in India, it is a part of Himalaya. Okay, so now highest found in Brazil, but the highest peak of Brazil, Pico de Neblina, is 3014 meter high, lies on the border between Brazil and Venezuela. That I already told you, and I already drawn that over there. You can see it. Now the regions of the east, to the east and south of Brazilian highland have an altitude of more than 1000 meter. Now here you can see the Brazilian highland. Actually, Brazilian highland covers this area. Actually, it covers this area. Okay. Now I have an altitude of more than 1000 meter. They have certain mountain ranges or plateau areas which covers the certain area of that Brazilian highland or near to the Brazilian highland. They have mountain ranges and their peak is nothing but 1000 meter. But in other parts, the altitude is between 500 to 1000 meter. But in other parts of the Brazil where there are mountain ranges or mountain peaks or plateau area, they are between 500 to 1000 meter. Means their height or their altitude, which is very less compared to Indian mountain ranges. Even peninsular region have mountain having more height or more altitude compared to them. Now the highlands gradually slopes towards north, and slopes are not very steep. But you already know what you call that highland area is not having a high altitude. So obviously the slope is gentle. It is not steep. In Himalaya, the slope is very steep, and even in Sahyadri ranges also, forget about the Himalaya, even Sahyadri ranges of Western Ghat and Eastern Ghat, there are so much mountain ranges which have a steep slope. Okay. Now the tributaries of Amazon flowing to this region makes rapids and waterfalls. Now there are so many tributaries to Amazon river, which are not shown over here, but you can look into the map, physical map. And flowing to this region make rapids and waterfalls. Rapid means water is flowing rapidly. You can see rapids in Himalaya. Ganga is also having a rapids. Yamunotri, when Yamuna river comes from Yamunotri, it also formed the rapid over there. So, and waterfalls also, but the same way tributaries of Amazon flowing to this region make rapids and waterfalls in Amazonas or Amazon river basin. Now, toward the north, the slopes are steep but not abrupt. Toward the north, slopes are steep but not abrupt. Abrupt are nothing but no breaks. There is no break. They are in like a chain, or you may call it a range. Now, number of rivers take off from the terminal portion of the highland and flow northwards to meet Atlantic Ocean. Means so many rivers, you know, Sao Francisco River, that also first go towards the north and suddenly take the steep turn and enter the Atlantic Ocean. Suddenly take that steep turn and returns to Atlantic Ocean or goes into the Atlantic Ocean, or you may call it a East Atlantic Ocean. Actually, East Atlantic Ocean is not mentioned, but for the sake of convenience, we are calling it East Atlantic Ocean. Actually, there are only, ocean is one only, but it is divided in Brazil into two parts, North Atlantic Ocean and South Atlantic Ocean. But for the sake of convenience, we are calling it East Atlantic Ocean. Okay. Now, altitude is nothing but the height. I told you, it is nothing but the height of the mountain or height of a particular range or peak, whatever you call it. Now, go to page number 18. Some major rivers like Uruguay, Paraguay, Paraná originate from the southern slope of the highland and enter Argentina. Actually, you can see this is the Brazilian highland, and from that Brazilian highland and near to that Brazilian highland, these three rivers originate, or their origin is from Brazilian highland and new to the area of Brazilian highland. Which are these three rivers? First one is Uruguay. It is not shown over here. Second one is Paraguay. and third one is what you call that, Parana. Okay, but they originate from this region and they enter into what you call that, Argentina. They enter into Argentina. Actually, they go through Mato Grosso do Sul and they enter into Argentina. So, sorry. Now, the east slope toward the east is steep and appears in the form of escarpment. Now, what do you mean by escarpment? Escarpment is nothing but the straight slope, or you may call it a straight mountainous region area, no zigzag or haphazard growth factor or physiography. That is known as escarpment. Okay. Now, the great escarpment. This is the most important topic in this chapter number 3, physiography and drainage, because on the escarpment, there are several questions related to give reason, then what you call that, short notes and several other things. So, great escarpment is very important and we will learn about it. Now, though it occupies a very small area, escarpment is not a large area. Actually, it occupies the, what you call that, South Atlantic Ocean or the coastal area of South Atlantic Ocean of Brazil. Actually, it is not shown over here, but you can understand it. Look into your books and you will come to know it. Now, okay, though it occupies a very small area, the nature of its slope and the effect it has on the climate makes it a separate physiographic region. Now, but it affects the Brazilian climate. Why? Because India and Brazil, even they are far off from each other. You can see here, you can see India is in Asian continent while Brazil in South American continent, so far from each other, yet both the countries receive orographic rainfall. Both the countries, means Brazil as well as India, both these countries, even they are apart from each other, they are far off from each other, yet they receive the orographic rainfall. That is the most important thing. Means we also receive from rainfall from monsoon, the same way Brazil also receive from rainfall from monsoon, but they do not call it monsoon wind. Actually, they call it a northwestern wind and southwestern wind, or southern wind or northern wind, whatever they call it. Okay, that we will learn afterwards. But most important topic here is great escarpment. But great escarpment act as a barrier, like the Himalaya and Sahyadri ranges or Western Ghat, Eastern Ghat, and most of all Himalaya act as a barrier for monsoon wind which are coming from what you call that southwest area or southwest region or from southwest. They act as a barrier which Western Ghat, Eastern Ghat, and mostly the Himalaya. And because of that, we receive a lot of rainfall, abundant rainfall in several regions, and sometimes there is what you call that uneven rain. So, the same way Brazil is also receiving the rain from south, wind flowing or cloud, means monsoon clouds flowing from South Atlantic Ocean as well as North Atlantic Ocean. So, great escarpment act as a barrier to those winds, to those clouds, and obviously there is a more rainfall in this highland region. And another part is what you call a drought quadrilateral, especially this Caatinga region. They have not shown over here. Caatinga is a drought prone region, or you may call it a what you call drought quadrilateral. That we will learn later. So the eastern side, though it occupies a very small area, great escarpment is a very small area. If you look into the map, it is a tiny, not just small, it is a tiny. The nature of its slope and effect it has on the climatic makes it a separate physiographic region. But it is a separate physiographic region for the sake of understanding the climate of Brazil, and it affects the climatic condition of the Brazil. And it is very vital because of what you call it rain. You know, rain, water is very vital for food, for crops, for everything, for drinking water or potable water, day-to-day use of water. So obviously that is a separate physiographic region, even though it is a very tiny region. This great escarpment, it affects the climate of Brazil. Okay, so now the eastern side of the highland is demarcated. Now eastern side of the highland is demarcated or divided. Demarcated is nothing but a divided because of the escarpment. Because of the escarpment, it is divided. Okay. Now in this region, the altitude of the escarpment is 790 meters. Now altitude of escarpment is very small. 790 meters is nothing, but it affects the climate of Brazil. That is the most important thing, and that's why it is a escarpment is regarded as a separate physiographic region, because it affects the climate of Brazil either adversely or others what you call it favorably. Okay. Now in some region the height increases gradually, but it's a height growth increasing in certain regions. Now the escarpment is very steep, particularly from Sao Paulo to Porto Alegre. You can see Sao Paulo and Porto Alegre, not shown over here. For Sao Paulo is shown, but not Porto Alegre. Okay, but we can see over here. So escarpment has to act as barrier to the escarpment is very steep, particularly from Sao Paulo to Porto Alegre. Actually, you can see here escarpment in the book itself. I will show you. This is the very tiny region escarpment, and it goes from Sao Paulo to Porto Alegre. Okay. Now, so the escarpment acts as a barrier to the southeast trade winds. Sir, jara niche. Now the escarpment is very steep, particularly from Sao Paulo to Porto Alegre. The escarpment acts as a barrier to the southeast trade wind. You can see that southeast trade wind. This southeast trade wind are nothing but a monsoon wind. They do not call it monsoon wind, but for the sake of understanding, we can call them monsoon wind. So obviously this southeast trade wind, when they enter, who acts as a barrier? Great escarpment, and it affects the climate of Brazil greatly. So now acts as a barrier to the southeast trade wind, give rising to the rain shadow region in the northeastern part of the highland. Northeastern part, you can see the Brazilian highland. Yes, and northeastern part means this northeastern part, it becomes rain shadow region. Rain shadow means drought prone region. You may call it a famine region, no water region, whatever you call it. Okay. Not a desert, but no water, very few, or arid region. You may call it, for the sake of simplicity, you can call it arid region, means very less rainfall or no rainfall. Very less rainfall or no rainfall in the northeastern part of Brazilian highland because of that. Okay. So the region to the north of this area is called drought quadrilateral. So you can see the region of the north. This is known as drought quadrilateral, but mostly in this region also it is the Caatinga. It is the Caatinga. You can clearly see it in the map. Okay. I will tell you, refer to page number 15 and you can see the Caatinga region and some part of a São Francisco river. Okay. Now, so that region is known as drought quadrilateral, means very less rainfall. Okay. Now, this way, the great escarpment in Brazilian highland. Actually, great escarpment act as a barrier, and more rain is received in this area, and after highland, less rain is received, or very low rainfall is received, or low precipitation you may call it. Now, this is the importance of great escarpment. Now, second one, the coastal area of Brazil. Coastal area, you can clearly see this is nothing but the coastal area, North Atlantic Ocean, South Atlantic Ocean. You may, for the sake of convenience, it is not written over here, but for the sake of convenience, you can call it East Atlantic Ocean, and this is nothing but the coastal area of Brazil. So, total coastal area of Brazil is nothing but a 7,400 kilometer, while India has 7,500 kilometer coastal area or coastal region. One may divide that into two parts, namely northern coast, southern coast. Northern coast, southern coast. Atlantic Ocean is from both sides. Now, we will go further. The northern coast extends from Amapá. You can see here Amapá. This is the coast starts, or coastal area starts in Brazil in northern area from Amapá state or Amapá region, province in the north to Rio Grande do Norte. Rio Grande do Norte in the east, and it ends here. Means not ends here, means northern coast ends here. Coastal area doesn't end, but it is the northern coastal area ends. It starts from Amapá region and ends in Rio Grande do Norte. Means Maranhão, Marajo Island. You can see here. This is nothing but a Marajo Island, Sierra, and this one. Okay, Piauí. So this is the way. This can be called North Atlantic coast. This is nothing but the North Atlantic coast. From there, the eastern coast extends toward the south. Now, eastern coastal area extends to the south. This is nothing but the Paraiba, Pernambuco, then Alagoas, Sergipe, Bahia, then Espírito Santo, Rio de Janeiro, Minas Gerais, not Minas Gerais, but Espírito Santo. Then afterwards, Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, Curitiba, and Santa Catarina, as well as Rio Grande do Sul. So this is the total coastal area of Brazil. It extends from the east to south, or from eastern side to southern side of Brazil. So eastern coast extends toward the south. The northern coast is characterized by mouths of many rivers. There are many tributaries to the Amazon River, but most important river is Amazon River Basin or Amazon River, flowing through that Amazonas and Para. Now the Amazon, therefore this region is low-lying region. This is a low-lying region. On this coast lie Marajo Island. You can see here Marajo Island, even though it is not written over there. You can clearly see this Marajo Island and Marajo and Sao Marcos Bay. Sao Marcos, actually Sao Marcos Base is not shown over there. Sao Marcos Base is this area. Sao Marcos Base is nothing but this area. This is Marajo Island and this is Sao Marcos Base. Okay. Now is a coastal between the mouths of river. Marajo Island, Marajo and Sao Marcos Bay. Marajo is a large coastal island. You can see the island is very large. Actually, even though it is joined to the part of Brazil, mainland of the Brazil, yet it is an island. Now, located between the mouth of river Amazon and Tocantins. Both river, Marajo Island is formed due to the deposition of sediment from both the river. First one is what? Amazon, and second one is Tocantins. Now, the eastern coast receive large number of smaller rivers, like Sao Francisco and several other rivers. They are not shown over here. The only major river which meets the Atlantic Ocean is Sao Francisco. But most important, the most largest river flowing in this area, not actually Amazon River is the largest river in the whole world. It is larger than Ganga River, okay, and Brahmaputra also, in comparison to area, Kashmir area, everything that we will talk and we will refer to it afterwards. So the eastern coast receives large number of smaller rivers. The only major river which meets the Atlantic Ocean is Sao Francisco. Sao Francisco flows from here, it goes to the north and suddenly it expands and goes to the eastern coast or east coast of Atlantic Ocean. Okay. Now, the eastern coast receives large number of smaller rivers. The Brazilian coast is characterized by large number of beaches. You can see beaches everywhere, but the most famous beach in Brazil is nothing but the Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo. Very famous. Like we have famous beaches at Kerala, Goa. The same way they have famous beaches. Actually they have beaches everywhere, but these two famous beaches are very popular all over the world, especially Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo. And sand dune complexes. Sand dune is formed, due to water as well as airflow. Now the Brazilian coast is protected in some areas by coral reefs and atoll islands. Atoll islands means very tiny, they have certain height which is very short island. You may call it a short island. So atoll island, coral reef, when marine animals die after they decomposition, it may take several years or even centuries, and afterwards there is a formation of coral island or into rocks. They form into rocks. That is nothing but the coral island. So you can see the coral reefs and atoll islands in their region. Now the plains. Now we have seen the highland, okay, Brazilian highland, Guyana highland. Then we have seen the coastal area, okay, coastal area, North Atlantic Ocean, North Coast region, Eastern Coast region, as well as Southern Coast region. Then we have seen the Great Escarpment, how it affects the climate of Brazil. Okay, now fourth one is nothing but the plains. Plains are very few in Brazil. Plain area, that Now the plain in Brazil are confined to two areas, namely the Amazon basin in the north, and Paraguay Parana source region in the southwest, this region. Okay, Pantanal is also plain region. It is what you call that wetland. It is the largest wetland in the world. Largest wetland of the world is nothing but the Pantanal. You can see here Rondonia. In Rondonia and Mato Grosso is the Pantanal region. And this region, this Pantanal region extends up to Bolivia and Paraguay. Okay. So, Amazon plains lying between the two highlands from the largest plain land of Brazil. Two highland is nothing but the what you call that Guyana highland, and here is Brazilian highland. In that area there is a plain region, and mostly that region is formed due to Amazon river basin, or you may call it Amazon river flowing through that area, and that's why that plain region is very important and it is formed. Now Amazon basin, Amazon plains lying in the northern parts of Brazil generally slope eastward. They generally slope eastward. Now the Amazon basin is quite wide in the west, about 1,300 kilometers. Actually the Amazon basin, suppose it starts from here, it ends here, it is a 1,300 kilometers. Basin is nothing but the mouth of the river, or you may call it where the river originates. Actually Amazon river doesn't originate in Brazil, it originates in Peru. And then it travels to the Brazil, you may call it Amazonas. This region is known as Amazonas. Then it goes through Para, and then it stops at Amapa and certain part of Para. Okay. So, its width is narrows eastward, but once it goes toward the eastward, it narrows down here. Means it narrows down here. Its width is minimum where the Guyana highland and Brazilian highland come closer. Now this is the Guyana highland, this is the Brazilian highland. When they are coming closer towards each other, coming closer means not side by side, coming closer in geographical terms, okay, then its width is very, what you call it, narrow. Its width is narrow, which Amazon river, okay. It's 240 kilometer only, it is 240 kilometer here. As the river approaches the Atlantic, but as the river approaches, the Amazon river approaches the North Atlantic Ocean, then the width of the plain increases. The width increases from Amapa, Marajo Island and some part of Para as well as Maranhão. Means it covers, when that Amazon river flows, then afterwards it narrows down, again its width increases, its mouth opens up like that, and it covers the region of Amapa, Marajo Island, Para and some part of Maranhão. So its width increases. Now these are mostly forested area, or till it is a jungle area, wooded area, forested area, you may call it dense forest, dense jungle is there. Now and largely inaccessible due to frequent flooding and dense undergrowth. And it is inaccessible, means very few people live there, only what you call it tribal people or tribal people you may call it, they live over there, and very few people travel over there because of inaccessibility, dense undergrowth of forest, dense area. Now most of the Amazon plains are covered by tropical rainforest. You know, equator goes through it, obviously, and it is a, you know, it is a tropical country, so there are tropical rainforest, dense undergrowth of forest. Now the other plains in Brazil are located in the southern western part. You may call it east-west, north-south, southern western part. That is nothing part of the highland. Now they form the source region of Paraguay and Parana river. I already told you Paraguay and Parana river comes from Brazilian highland. They originate from Brazilian highland, or their origin is nothing but a Brazilian highland. They flows and it goes to Paraguay. Okay, they goes to Paraguay. So the source region of Paraguay slopes toward the south, while the source region of Parana slopes toward the southwest. Now the Pantanal was the largest wetland in the world. This is the Pantanal region. So okay, start.